I appreciate it, Ross. So first of all, this is Paul Journey week for us, and so we're excited about everything that's going on in our building and on campus and throughout our athletic department when it concerns Paul Journey. Kind of a daily focus each and every day, and we're going to have a big Paul Journey appreciation dinner on Thursday night, and our 3 football players that are going into the Hall of Fame this week will be there: Dwayne Allen, Daquan, and Jacoby Ford. And really exciting, especially for me personally, to have been around here long enough now to have, some guys going in the Hall of Fame. So that's pretty cool, and so deserving. And Dwayne will speak at that on Thursday night. So our Paul Journey program it's the model program, student athlete development and player relations program in the country. And lots of people are trying to model that, and it's something we've been doing for 13 plus years here with Jeff Davis, and as the architect, and really started it when I got the job as an interim. I went and got him and next door and said, hey, here's kind of my vision, and man, we've been going ever since, and man, he's done an amazing job. The pillars are striped and see you in life in 5th quarter, and then what we call overtime. And striped is all about personal growth. Our see you in life is about life skills and all of our community service that we participate in. 5th quarter is about our career and professional development. You hear about our micro internships and all those things, and service trips abroad. And then overtime is about our former player engagement and their development, after they're gone from here. And bottom line, Paul Journey is, you hear this people say all the time, we're trying to get them ready for life after football, and that is not the case. Life is happening right now during football, and so it's about preparing them for right now and equipping them. And so it's a unbelievable program, something we're very, very proud of. We're trying to endow. I think we've raised about $6 million. I think we need $11 million to get it fully endowed. So a wonderful program. And again, this whole week is something that we highlight. And you look, all of the Paul Journey. I think we've had 109 Paul Journey ambassadors that have come through this program. Several of them are captains for their NFL team now. So a lot of good things, and we'll highlight those all throughout the week on social media as well. So hopefully y'all will see that, and it'll be a fun week. But as far as this game, I mean, this is what a top 10 game should look like. You got 2 really talented teams, very, very experienced football team that we're getting ready to play in NC State. Just both sides. Again, similar to last week as far as just veteran leadership. They got a bunch of guys that have played a lot of ball, been very successful. They're a really good football team, very well coached. Dave's done an amazing job, putting this group together. Some of them seem like they've been there forever. They've gotten Peyton back, Wilson back on defense, and he is one of the best players in the country to go right along with what was already a great defense. So I think he's outstanding. But, we look at their offense. I mean, they're complete. They got a really good offensive line that's played a lot of football, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I mean, Leary is special. I mean, he's a pro. This league this year is unbelievable when it comes to quarterbacks. I mean, truly is. And it seems like we play every one of them. But there's a lot of guys that fans of the ACC need to enjoy watching, because you got a lot of guys that are going to be playing on Sunday coming out of this league, and Leary's one of them. He is a great football player, really understands the game. They've got 2 hard-nosed downhill backs that flat out can tote the rock in 0, and 3 excellent receivers. 88, 5, 15, 11. I mean, they've all made plays. 5 is their guy, as far as a guy they're gonna script into all their touches, whether it be handing him the ball, screening the ball. He's even thrown the ball a few times. So he's a really good football player, very savvy, a big RPO guy. They're physical in the run game. Going to run a lot of counter, a lot of stretch, and then they're going to take a million shots. They're going to push the ball down the field. So big challenge from an offensive standpoint, getting ready for them, and then defensively, they're complete. I mean, they're complete. They've got, really good players at all three levels. They're very confident in their scheme and what they do. They understand their scheme very well, and they put their players in position to be successful. But very physical. These three linebackers are outstanding. I mean, 32 and 1 are all conference guys. And again, now you throw 11 back out on the field who unfortunately couldn't play last year. He's a special player, very aggressive as far as how they fit the backers in their scheme. They always got 4 or 5 guys coming from somewhere, and then very disciplined on the back end. So not giving up a lot of points, stingy group just like they were last year, and an aggressive group, dangerous in the return game as well. So again, a complete team and a top 10 matchup. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're excited about being at home. Excited about having an awesome crowd. Hopefully everybody will get there early and be loud. And we'll have no idea what the weather's going to be like. Sounds like it's going to be wet and all that, but it'll be wet for both sides. So we'll have to find a way. That's what it's all about. Every week in college football is a season of its own, and that's just kind of how you have to look at it. And you just put everything you got into that season, and then if you wake up on Sunday, you go again, and until there's no more games left, and then you see how it all played out. But a great opportunity for us. They're just like last week. We want the same thing. I think the only undefeated teams left in our league are, I think we're all in the same division. I think that's right. Both teams want the same thing. Both teams want to stay in control of their destiny, and this game will provide that opportunity. With that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, NC State plays a lot of dime coverage in their secondary. What kind of a different challenge does that present for DJ?
Well, there are a lot of zone. You got to be very patient. They force you to be very patient in how they play structurally. They will pressure you. The biggest thing is identifying them, because they're with the way they play their front and their star player, in the middle there, you have to be on the same page communication-wise as far as, where they're coming from and making sure that your OL and everybody's tied together. And then, a lot of zone pressures, where they've got guys drop-ins, they'll drop D tackles. And so understanding your throwing windows and again, just it's not always as clean, when you line up and play a team that's going to play a bunch of man coverage on you. This is a team that's a little more multiple in what they do coverage-wise. And again, they'll give up some things underneath, but you gotta be disciplined enough to put the drives together. And first of all, you got to be physical enough up front, to hold up, because it's a very physical group. And then again, they will zone pressure you to death, and you got to be on the same page communication-wise.
Dabo, Clemson has kind of dominated this series under you in terms of wins and losses. But do you think State's recent success has kind of re-energized this rivalry a little bit?
I mean, I think they've always been good. We've won a lot of games, but, they've all been tough games. I think NC State's always been a really tough opponent. Ever since I've been at Clemson. So it's be my, I guess it's my 20th year, but I don't think we didn't play them in COVID, did we? I think they weren't. So it's my 19th time to play them. And as far back as I can remember, Phillip Rivers was the quarterback when I came in here in 2003. So as far back as I can remember, they've always been tough. It's always, we've had some games, a few here or there that maybe, got out of hand, if you will, but most of them have been really hard fought, games. And I'm sure this will be the same.
Coach, with TJ at this point, is there, and the improvement that he's made as the year's gone on, are there one or two things that jump off at you that you see now that it's like, wow, he's really either pre-snap or after the snap? Yeah,
well, the biggest thing is confidence. He's just in a different. playing with a lot of joy. I mean, he's very confident, and that's the first thing that jumps out. He wasn't very confident last year. He got in a bad spot. He's in a good space there. And then just what he's done, with his legs. I mean, that's the biggest change. I mean, just his confidence in running the football, but also just creating and extending plays, and then his accuracy. But I think that's just a reflection of just his confidence. I think that's, if you're not very confident, you're probably not going to be very accurate. And now he's just in a very good spot from a confidence standpoint, and his accuracy's been a lot better. And then the guys around him have been better, and it's just kind of all come together well. He's much more confident with the guys up front. I think they're doing a good job for him. But he's again, 4 games. I mean, working hard every week to just stay consistent, and so far he's been able to do that.
Coach, you have to have a short memory at corner. We spoke with Nate Wiggins yesterday. It seemed like he was as confident as ever in his abilities. You feel like those corners have really put the last game behind them?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, that's what a windshield mentality is all about, right? You can't worry about what happened last week, good or bad. You don't get to carry any points over, and you don't carry any bad plays over either, unless you let it carry over. So you got to move on in this game. I mean, you got to move on. I know. A lot of times, people outside don't move on until you play another game or you win another game or whatever. But when this is what you do, you have to lock in on what's next, and otherwise you're not going to get any better. You have to focus on what's next and learn from what's behind. That's very important. Like, what happened? Let's take ownership of it. Let's learn from it. Let's grow from it, and then let's go apply those lessons. So that's what getting better is all about. And it was a rough night, not just for him, for that whole position. So we've got to be much better for sure, and hopefully these guys will have a little more sense of urgency and be a little more detailed and take a little more ownership of what they got to do to make sure they're ready to execute and to play the technique and the fundamentals that it takes to be successful.
I was going to ask if Malcolm, Sheridan, and Lakuba, if they'll play.
I don't know anything at this point. We're hopeful on all those guys. So we'll just see where they are as we go through the week.
How much of the problems with the corners this past Saturday were a matter of strictly just not turning their heads?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
How much of the problems stem from them just not turning their heads around? Because there's a lot of contact. But
Yeah. We did not play the ball well at all, and we didn't play our technique well. I mean, it's you have one situation, you got to press bail, and you're on top all the time, and then all of a sudden we're staring in the backfield, and the guy runs right behind us, and that should never happen. It's a basic technique, but again, we've got to do a better job of coaching it and teaching it. We've got a couple young guys that can really play that we've got to, they're going to get better, and they're going to get better in a hurry. And we'll look back here and down the road, these will be great all-conference type players as they get into the meat of their careers here, and they'll be like, well, they got baptized a little bit as freshmen, but that's just part of it, So we've got to do a better job of teaching them, and they've got to play the ball better. They got to track the ball better. There's a lot of things we got to do better there, but it starts with us as coaches.
Coach, it's kind of been an epidemic across the country with kickers missing very makeable kicks, costing their teams games. Guy like BT Potter just keeps his head down. He's 7 for 7. How much easier does he make your life when it's 3rd or 4th and 4, and it's a 52-yard field goal to tie the game? Yeah,
I mean he's a great one. I mean I haven't seen all the kickers. I think he's the best kicker, but I haven't seen them all. But I just know what I see in practice every day, and I mean he's just amazing. He's a complete guy. I mean he can really do it all. He's a great leader too. He's one of the better leaders we've had in here. I mean he's just a committed kid. Came back, for this extra year. This is kind of his COVID year, if you will. He certainly could have, I think, been drafted or certainly be on a team right now. But he really wanted to come back. He had some more goals he wanted to achieve as a kicker. I think he wanted to better position himself for the next level, and so he's taken full advantage of it. But man, we're very, very confident in him. He's done an excellent job, and so has Florenzo. We got a new snapper, new holder, and Flo and Drew have been awesome as well.
Do you alter anything schedule-wise this week, kind of looking ahead to Saturday and weather-wise, trying to plan, or do you just go about keep doing things the way you normally do?
No, we just normal week, just go about what we need to do, and I mean, you know, if there's something going on, other people worry about that. We gonna get our team ready to play.
Coach, you mentioned number 5 there, Thomas. They lost maybe their best receiver from last year,
Yeah.
but Thomas had a really good game against you last year as well.
He's a great player. He's tough. He is a true football player. Does a lot of things. Great returner. Again, just great with the ball in his hands. Makes tough, competitive, contested catches. You know, over the middle. You know, a lot of RPO stuff, and they'll run him in behind the backers and slants and things. And you know, he makes catches downfield. I mean, really, there's really not anything you can't do. Yeah, again, he can throw the ball, but he's a reverse guy. He's a screen guy. I mean, he does it all, and really, really good football player, for sure. One of the better players in this league.
That was just a little off topic, but on the recruiting trail, you guys have had a lot of success in and against Alabama. Just what is that dynamic like for you, recruiting against your alma mater?
I mean, I don't. They're no different than anybody else. I mean, you know, we recruit against whoever. It doesn't matter where I went to school. I mean, that's, you know, Alabama's, you know, they're going to sign the best players every year. I mean, that's just, they've always done that, and we try to sign the best players every year as well. And you know, so when that's your philosophy, you know, you're gonna, and you know, we sign a lot of the best players. They sign a lot of the best players. So as a result, you end up recruiting against each other a lot. But you know, got a lot of respect for Coach Saban. I mean, he does an amazing job. You know, it's not surprising that we get on a lot of the same kids. So I think we're looking for a lot of the same things. But as far as just from a personal standpoint, it's you know, been doing it a long time. You know, so I don't even think about it.
Do you plan on working more with wet balls this week?
Yeah, we'll definitely, you know, have some wet ball drills, you know, quarterbacks, running backs, snappers, punt catchers, you name it. You know, we'll deal with punters, everybody that handles the ball. We'll have to make sure we got some good work on that this week. And we do that, you know, a good bit, you know, throughout the year, but be a big emphasis this week.
And with the ball being so wet, do you maybe potentially plan on giving more touches to your running backs this week?
Well, I mean, you know, it depends on if it's 50-mile-an-hour wind or something. DJ's got a good arm, but I don't know how good. I don't know if it's that good. So I don't know if anybody's going to set any passing records if you get a situation like that. So you got to find a way. You know, you got to find a way to win the game, regardless of what the elements are. You know, so if it's run it 70 times or throw it 70 times, you just try to find a way each and every week. And as I said earlier, then you get ready for the next one.
Has anyone joked about building a wind tunnel here in the building this week?
No, not that I've heard of.
Coach, you mentioned it, 4 different teams in the Atlantic Division undefeated. A lot of people talked about your non-conference schedule and, you know, Notre Dame having a rough season, but this Atlantic Division, what Syracuse is doing, Florida State bouncing back, it's one of the toughest divisions in the country, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I don't know why people talk about our non-conference. I mean, we're playing, you know, we've played 10 Power Fives forever around here. You know, we've played some of the best for a long time, for as long as I can remember. And you know, if somebody's not having a good year, I mean, you can't do anything about it. I mean, you're playing Notre Dame, you're playing South Carolina. You got Notre Dame is Notre Dame, South Carolina is, you know, in the SEC, an SEC opponent. So in a rivalry game, so I mean, that's great out of conference. You know, so we play 10. A lot of people don't. A lot of people play like 8, and then they play a bunch of, you know, smaller level ones. But we've always, you know, played a tough schedule. But our league, man, in our division for sure, I think, and I haven't seen everybody, so it's hard to really truly gauge and comment on it. But I know this: our league is strong, and our division. It's going to be a battle every single week with these quarterbacks, because everybody's got a quarterback, and when you got a quarterback, you got a chance. There's no doubt about it. And this is I'm telling you, a bunch of guys that'll have a chance to play this game for quite a while in our league. So it's exciting. I mean, it really is. And again, you're going to see one of them this week. This kid can really play.